Let's record. All right, you guys, I am so freaking excited for this call. Now, before we get started, in the comments, I want to know what you're going for this month. I want to know if you're going for your $100 weekly bonus, okay? What you're going for, what promotion, what's your goals, what do you want to do to close off this month, okay? So throw that in the chat. I will tell you that people feed off your energy. I know that when I'm a guest on someone's Zoom, the thing that fires me up the most is that I see people getting just fired up in the chat. So I want you guys to choose your favorite emoji. And every time you hear something that is like, yes, I love that, feel free to just put that in the chat. And Courtney's going to be so hyped up by it. I love that. Okay. And if for those of you guys that are new, I really want to touch on this before we get into the Zoom. Guys, we have an incredible promotion right now. Okay, put it in the chat if $400 a month extra on top of your commission is literally going to change your life right now. Also, if you have two accounts, like if you have your account and your spouse account, that's like $800 that you can make literally just in bonuses. Okay, now what I love about this is it is simple. Okay, it is simple. Anybody can do this. You could sign up yesterday and you could make this, this bonus money, because all that it's from is enrolling 5 customers in a week. Okay, so we go from Saturday to Friday. If you can get 5 customers down in a week, you're going to get that $100 bonus extra on top of the commissions that you are making. Okay, now what a perfect person to have on, Courtney, because she literally signs like 5 customers every 30 seconds. Okay, so one thing that I will tell you is if you want the results from somebody else that is getting results, do as she does. All right, so I'm excited. Let's I've already recorded. Dang it, I already recorded. Okay, just ignore this last minute if you're watching the replay. Record. All right, I'm so excited, you guys. Courtney Bowman is here today. You guys, I gotta give like a quick little introduction and a quick little story time, and then I'm gonna pass the mic. If you guys have any specific questions for her, throw them in the chat. But I got a bunch already. Anyways, you guys, Courtney is literally incredible. She actually was a guest on, I see Rhonda Hartman right there in the middle of our screen. Rhonda Hartman is actually our ambassador upline. So if you guys don't know Rhonda, she is incredible. And she was just like running through the reports. And Rhonda actually had won a trip to our CEO's ranch. And she was looking through the reports and she's like, dude, Courtney Bowman like needs to be here. And I'm like, I know. And so Courtney went, and you guys, like, it's just so crazy. I mean, she's going to give you the fire, but one thing I will say about Courtney, you guys, is she is like, I just feel like you guys need to listen to everything she says, because not only does she lead from the front. Can I just get a yes if you're on Courtney's team and you just know this about Courtney, like in the comments, or if you've ever rubbed shoulders with Courtney. Courtney's just like that. She just never gives up. Like, she's literally just like so consistent. She has like the attitude of like, no matter what comes my way, I will get around it. This is why you will see her go to the top of our company, not once, but twice. She will be double ambassador, mark my words. So I'm excited. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to pass it over to Court. So Court, maybe before we get into the questions, let's just start with your story. So if you could take us like all the way back, and then we'll go into questions.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. Holy moly. But yeah, so over 2 years ago, I was working as a high school teacher and a server. And Sean, my husband at the time, had been working in the baseball industry for his entire life, ever since he got drafted out of high school. So he was always gone 6 to 10 months a year out of the country. We are from Canada, and obviously he would go to America. And so I would just work my buns off, save enough pennies, and beg for 5 to 10 days off in a row, trying to like make it around long weekends so I could stay for longer. It's just like, I don't know, playing Tetris or I don't know what game, but like it was really difficult. And so I would get that time off, and then I would go and visit him. But guess what? When I was visiting him, I would literally spend money every day, not make money. And then about 2 or 3 days before I would leave him, I would go into like a little mini depression, because I knew I was leaving him and probably not seeing him for 3 to 6 months again, which puts a lot of stress on a relationship, as you probably can guess. So That was like 12 years of doing that with him. And like the relationship was like this during those times, just because it was stressful, obviously. So I was just looking for something. I tried doing like online tutoring where I would get paid like literally $10 an hour. What it felt like an hour. It might have been a little more than that. It was just like I would do anything, you guys, just to make money from my computer. And I did that. I just tried everything and nothing was a fit. I didn't feel like aligned with it. You know what I mean? So when you're not aligned with something, I didn't really give it my gung ho effort because I just was like, ah, this isn't for me. And, I was trying to find these things. And Jackie is like it's so weird, but like like Mike is my cousin. And so just indirectly, she was my friend on Facebook through that. And I would be watching her, but I was like, oh, I ain't doing that. That's a scam. Like, not being that girl. Hell no. Did not even give it an option until one day I was at a family dinner complaining about my miserable life. And my aunt was like, well, why don't you just do It Works? And I was like, oh, well, why don't I just do It Works? So then I started actively watching Jackie for like 2 or 3 months. Okay. And she had been doing this for probably 2 years. And I actively was finally watching her stories. And I was like watching to see how she worked the business, to see if she was consistent, to see if she was going to quit or anything. Right. And so finally, I felt safe enough to join her team. And I said, Jackie, I'm going to join your team, but I want to be on your team. Don't give me away to anyone else. Like, I want to be on yours. And she's like, okay, I got you. I got you. You're on my team. So she really took care of me. And the rest is history. I had like I was really scared to start posting on social media. I had a huge cry. Like, I have these huge cries every couple of years where I like literally cry like a blubbering idiot into Sean's arms. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't die by posting on social media. Oh, okay. And then like I just moved forward and I really just felt aligned with the company right away. I felt like I had found like-minded people who wanted more for themselves. I loved the products. And so it just was a good fit for me. And I still feel that way. I feel extremely, even more aligned than I ever have in my life. And it's given me friends I didn't even know I needed. And like, this was like the most randomest thing because now I'm in Bradenton, you guys. Like, this is so crazy. Is I'm literally in Florida, Bradenton now for my husband's work. And do you know that corporate is literally 15 minutes away? Like, if you don't feel like, I was just like, is this serendipity or is this destiny? Is this God? It's the universe. Like, what the heck, you guys? It was so weird. I'm like, I'm meant to be here. This is like totally where I'm meant to be. It was so, yeah, that's so this is like up to date, like this journey. And so I just encourage you, if you're brand new or newish, please stay the course because you're going to blossom into the person, like literally a version of yourself that you never even knew could happen. It's wild.
Oh my gosh, that almost made me cry for some reason. And what angle is it? Who's the MVP here? Is it Linda?
What do you mean? Oh, Linda. Oh no, it was Kathy. It was Kathy.
I'm like, who am I sending a thank you card to? Okay,
It
Kathy.
was Kathy.
Oh my god. Okay, and you guys, it's so funny, like hearing this come full circle because when I started, we did a little bit of things different, and they said, I mean, maybe people still do this, but they were like, okay, write 25 people that was like your chicken list, like people that you want on your team. And I remember you were on that list. I was too scared to ask you because you were my cousin, and I never just wanted to and it's just crazy that when you say that you're like I watched you, and like sometimes you guys, that's just like what it is. Like we can get all in our emotions here feeling like, oh, nobody wants what I have, but like really you just don't understand that people are watching you. And I just truly feel like, okay, I just put a one in the comments, and don't put a one unless you mean it, because I don't want to like have to circle back here and call you out. Okay, if you truly feel like I'm taking quitting off the table, like I will apply pressure until I get to where I want to go, put a one in the chat. Okay. And it's crazy that when I look back over the last 4.5 years, how many times I felt like I was running into a wall. And I know Courtney can say the same thing. How many times you feel like you're running into a wall, and then it's just like you have two options. Like, guys, as an entrepreneur, I hate to break it to you, whether it's this, that, or the other thing, like you're gonna have situations where you run into an objection, whether it's self-limiting belief, whether it's somebody saying no, whether it's you push for a promotion and you miss it, something happens. Like, the only thing that you can control is you. And so I feel like if you just have that mindset where it's like every single time I will look for a way around and not a way out, and have a little cry. Courtney cries every couple years. I cry every day. Whatever you need, just like you can do it. However much you need to cry, like just cry it out. But like truly, when you have that mindset, of that we're just gonna look for a way around and not a way out. Like you are gonna find success. And one thing I will, and it's funny as I listen to the story too, because she's telling you, you guys, and like I'll just say it. Now her and her husband are both double diamond. She's, I mean, I don't want to say numbers on here because like whatever, but she's killing it. Okay, like I've just like had many voice messages from Courtney on KJ, like, what the heck? Like, and it's about to go triple diamond. She's gonna go triple diamond this month. And you hear all of these things, but there's one story that really sticks out to me, and I hope I can say this. I hope you're not gonna get mad at me, but it's just something where it's like she's like, we'll find out right now. We'll find out if we're gonna get mad right now. One of the things that I want you guys to hear, because you guys are hearing all of these wins, but I will never forget. Courtney had this like momentum like for a while now, and when she went from ruby to emerald, okay, she was doing the most. She was enrolling, she was showing up, she was consistent. You like everyone that met her already thought she was diamond or above because that's how she was showing up. When she went emerald, she actually lost money on her paycheck because she was placing so far down. Like, without getting into the comp plan, for ruby you get paid on 4 levels. On emerald you get paid 2% as an infinity until there's another emerald underneath you. So she basically was placing too low in her organization for diamond, which was good, which I would still say you should do that. But anyways, she had pushed really hard to lose a little bit of money on her paycheck. And I remember like having that conversation and being like, dude, yeah, that sucks. But just your mindset, you were just like, I'm still going. And then just like she went double and then promoted Sean to double. And it's in those moments that I feel like make a champion. So I just really want to say that. And yeah, dude, you're awesome. Okay, so now you're going triple diamond. So let me ask you the first question I have for you is like, what would you say was like the biggest thing that you had to overcome in this business?
Myself. Literally, my mindset. I didn't realize how many limiting beliefs, and still I catch myself like, even you saying, "Oh, she's going to be double ambassador." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." Like, you have that little devil, I don't know, that little thing in your mind saying that's not possible. Like, like I actually like can't believe some of these things that people say, like you've always like instilled belief in me, like even before I even believe. And so I kind of just like borrow that. And then but yeah, it's mainly been my mindset. Like the nose in the beginning probably bothered me, like the nose, and people saying, "Oh, scam," or whatever. I don't know, like any negativity. But now I feel like I'm on a rocket ship, you guys. Like I used to be in a car and like, no, dude, I'm in a rocket ship. I am like going to Mars, okay? And I really don't care what Sally, Tom, Dick, and Harry have to say about where I'm going, because I don't even listen to them. What they say, like, it knocks off. When you're going so fast, it's just like ding, ding, ding. It kind of just it doesn't affect me anymore because like I know where I'm going. And like I know that there'll be people wanting to go to Mars or wherever. I don't know where that came from, but you know what I mean? Like I'm on a rock ship and I'm going to my goals. I'm going to the stars, and I've got my Megs and my Courts and my Jess, and like we're going, man. And like we are so focused on our goals. We just, and I feel like I had this weird like experience this month where I was like so nervous about winner circle. My mind literally blocked me from enrolling. Like I wasn't enrolling, and then of course that totally gets you in you go spinning down this negative cycle, going, well, why am I not enrolling? Should I change what I'm doing? What am I here? Who am I here? And you go down this negative thing, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And Sean, who is in baseball, you guys, where if you don't hit the ball 7 times out of 10, you are freaking amazing. $1 million contracts. You don't hit the ball 7 times out of 10. I am not joking. So I was like, oh, okay. So they strike out a lot, right? He's like, yeah. So you have to make sure your mind is right because you never know when you're gonna hit your next home run, yada yada. But if you got to go to the plate, you got to do your training, you got to grind, you got to show up, and you got to put the effort in. And so it all comes from my mind. When I'm in my peak state, I'm focused, I'm doing my PD, I'm like personal development, I'm around Jackie and like my crew, my like so important who you put yourself around. Whenever I have like a really good mindset, you guys, I'm literally invincible and can enroll 12 customers in one day. Dead serious, okay? Because you're just open. I don't know, it's weird. So if your mindset, you have to be careful that your mindset isn't blocking you, because I have been literally blocking my own blessings this entire time. So I would say, yeah, my mindset, and then getting just over the nose and just realizing that they're not they're going to make you stronger in the end, I feel.
That was so good. And I love that you said yeah, that's a question I want to circle back to. That's what I have written down here. So the okay, so oh my god, this is like so good already. I'm just so fired up. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so far. I'm like, I can't. I want to talk to you about the ranch. I want to talk to you about host to post. I'm just like dying. Okay, so first question. First question. I love that you said first of all you got over the nose. Okay, because here's the thing, guys. Like, go for no. Okay, you're gonna have no's. Like like let's just get it out of the way. You are going to have people that tell you no. You are also going to have people that tell you no that turn into a yes. You are going to hear people that call you no or say no and block you. Like, it is what it is. But I feel like when you can just realize, like, no, like, I mean, I'm pretty red, so is Courtney. So we're just gonna go red on this for a sec. These people are not paying your bills, okay? Like, seriously. Like, when someone tells you anything about what you do, ask them what bills of yours that they're paying this month. Like, it's gonna be zero every single time. And I think when you can switch that mindset to like, I'm not looking for the people that say no. I'm not trying to convince you to go from no to yes. I'm just like looking for people like Courtney, like Jackie, like Karen, like Barbara, like Jerry that are like willing to show up and just do it. Like, you know what I mean? And I can only see you guys on my top screen. So don't be like, oh my God, why didn't you say me? I know everyone's here, right? So I just feel like that's a win. When you can switch out of that, like it's such a game changer. Now, a question that a bunch of people are asking is like, when you realize that your mindset was the thing holding you back, what action steps did you take to fix that muscle that you know
Mm, yes. So I do feel like that mindset thing is kind of a muscle. I really like the way you said that because it is. Because when I didn't even know for the last, I swear to God, my all of my 20s, I was in this negative mindset. I didn't even know. I was like trapped in my own mind until I really cracked it open and like actually started doing personal development. Reading, you guys, I never was a reader. I was like, oh, book study, I'm going to try and cheat on Google to see. I don't want to read the book, like I would always be the Coles Notes girls or whatever that's called. I don't even know. But now I do not cheat on that. That is like cheating myself. Okay. So I feel like when I catch myself in that negative headspace, I hope I'm answering this question right. Is first of all, oh yeah, I flex that muscle. So I go, okay, I've been here before. Sometimes in the past, I've been in this negative mindset for like a month, and I'm like, I have such huge goals. I can't afford to be in this mindset for a month. I can maybe afford a day, but like I need every single hour of every day to enroll as much as I can to meet my goals. Okay. So, what I do is I tell myself, like, it's gonna be okay. And what I do is focus on the process. That was what my husband taught me. Like, he's in leadership over there, like his job. And so he was like, just focus on the process. If you're perseverating on the results or lack of results, you're gonna just really do yourself, like, you're going to get trapped in that vicious cycle. So you really have to just focus on the process. And if you're like, well, what do you mean the process? Literally the task list, you guys. Like, I literally just do it. I like, here's Samantha Westwick. She's getting 100 customers. I'm getting in that mindset. Well, why am I not doing that? And then you start doing that. And I'm like, no. And I self correct and I go, focus on the process. It will come. And I'm no joking you. I spend the whole day because I'm so glad I get to do this full time. But back when I was a teacher, I would just sneak it in at, the breaks that I could. But I literally just focus on you guys and the task list and doing the things that Jackie and everyone tells you to do. Like, they're literally giving you the keys to unlock the most flourishing business ever. But if you just focus on that, the results will naturally come. Like, I'm dead serious. So don't perseverate on the results. If you focus on the process, your results are going to come in tenfold because you're going to just be obsessed with the process. And so that is what I do. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And it reminded me of something I read the other day. And it talks about like, so let's say you're growing a tree and the result is the fruit, right? And so let's say you have your tree and your results are the fruit and you don't like the fruit on the tree. Like, you're not happy with the fruit. You're not happy with the results. What so many people do is focus on the fruit, but you literally have to focus on the roots. It's all like, and it's like literally where I will see people literally wipe themselves out of their business. I will see it because they will sit there and they will be, and you guys, here's the thing. We all get in this place. Like, if you're sitting here and you're like, oh, I'm like this, like, we all get there, but you just have to, kind of just realize, like, We got to put on our big girl or big boy pants and just realize that like nobody's going to come do it for us. The mindset part, it's like the reaction time. Like if you're hit in the face, don't stay on the ground. Get up and punch them back. And you have like 5 seconds to do that. Okay. Okay. Don't actually do that. Okay. So Court, here's the part everyone wants to know. Okay. So you guys, her enrollments, just so you guys know, she enrolls easy 50 plus customers a month. She got her $100 bonus today done, and about 15 distributors a month, right? That's kind of like, you know, right? A lot of the times I've seen her higher. I felt 50 was like a low. I'm like, are you sure it's not like 80? Like she kills it. So if you had to, before we get into like the event, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing to sign these customers? Like how are you bringing in 50 customers a month?
Yeah. Okay. So for instance, like I went a day without signing a customer. And once again, that little inaction breeds, what is that? I can't remember what we say all the time. But anyways, so like, yeah, inaction like makes you get in your head. And when you're in your head, you're dead. So I like just being in action. You know what I'm saying? So on a day like just yesterday, I got one customer in the morning and I was really getting down on myself. And I was like, one customer, I thought I was going to get 4 today. And it was like noon. And I'm like, ugh. So I was like mad at that because I set these high standards for myself because I'm like, ugh, I want to do this. So I'm like, hey, how do I get customers? I have. Okay. And majority of my customers come from HAP, but you guys, they don't come from HAP that I did today or yesterday. Sometimes they do, and it's amazing. But most of the time, okay, it's from 3 to 6 months earlier of HAPs that I was doing like crazy back then. And we go through the whole conversation about, you know, they comment on the weight loss one or whatever one. We go through the whole conversation, like, okay, next pay. And they tell me next pay, next pay, next pay for like 3 months sometimes. And I just stay patient because I ain't going nowhere. I ain't no rush. You're going to sign with me eventually. You're going to be on my team eventually. It's going to happen. And so I'm just chill with them. I'm like, no problem. But I set a follow up, you guys. A little tip. I go in my Apple iPhone calendar is literally riddled with people's names as soon as I talk to somebody, because this is the problem with me is I will forget. So I have my little notepad, and as I'm talking to people, I chicken scratch their name on here. And I've gone through like 5 of these, and I just moved here in February, and I write their names. And then I also at the same time, I'm very OCD about it. I go in my phone and I go on the next day and I'll write Ashley blah blah blah. And then I literally go next week, Ashley B, next week, Ashley B. And I copy and paste their name for like 8 weeks in a row. It takes me about 20 seconds. And then I go months later on my calendar and I put their name in there. So just I don't slip through the cracks, and I will follow up with them until I die, because follow up is so it's how you get them, you guys. Because if you don't follow up with them, Jackie's gonna follow up with them, or someone's gonna, like, it's happened, right? It's totally happened where I missed out.
Yeah, and it's so annoying when you see someone join that like you made them join. Like, and guys, this is so good. Okay, a couple things. I hope it's okay. I'm like repeating some of the stuff that you're saying because I just think it's so key. Okay, number one, the results Courtney you're getting today is not from the work she does today. Sometimes it is. Okay, drop a 1 in the comments. Have you ever enrolled somebody on the spot from HAP ever in your whole lifetime? Okay, here we go. So as long as one person has done it, you're good to go. Okay. This business truly has I feel like a 3 to 6 month leg period. What that means is the work that you do or do not do today, you will feel in 3 to 6 months from now. So I know a lot of you guys are coming in right now and you're like, well, I wasn't even here 3 months ago, so I could never be successful. No, you are just the start of the farm. You're starting the farmer's field. You have a brand new field that you have to now lay the crop. And that would be so dumb of you to buy a whole farmer's field, lay a bunch of seeds, and then be like, where is the crop? Like that would just never, you wouldn't keep digging it up. You have to trust the process. You just have to trust the process. So 3 to 6 months, you guys, like, and leaders on here, you know, maybe take this as like a little tip for creating duplication in your business. Whenever I sign a customer that I have talked to and followed up with for a long time, screen record that. Once they're a customer, screen record it and show people. I signed someone the other day for wraps that lives in Australia that I added in May of 2017 when I started. And just like Courtney said, Courtney, like, you know, everyone wants to make $1 million tomorrow, but do you want to make $1 million in 5 years? Do you want to make $1,000 in a month? Do you want to make $5,000 in 5 years? Like the time's going to pass anyway. So the recipe for failure is start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. She's just going, and she doesn't wait for people. She just keeps doing the things, and that 3 to 6 months leg period will compound. Okay. Now, also remember that as you promote, like a lot of people will promote and they're like, "Oh, I'm gravy." No, if you're like, I just believe if your business is not growing, it's dying. 100%. If your business isn't growing, it's dying. Right. Um, Okay, now I love that you said you're very like organized with your follow up. Fortune is in the follow up 100%. I believe there's two ways to follow up. Number one, your consistency in what you do. People are now seeing this across their timeline. Just like Courtney said, she watched me for 2 months. If I had to stop posting because I got all of my feelings, Courtney probably would have never signed. Number two, she's organized in her follow up. So Courtney, can you like set like an example? So say if for example, like maybe I'm from a hat, I commented on something and I just wasn't ready to buy. If I'm in your calendar, you don't have to give the exact wording, but like, how do you reach out and like follow up?
I have a few. Like I have Kelly Brown gave me the most money, not me personally. Like it was a Zoom I showed up to. I'm talking to her like I know her. No, but she is super simple. It just says, "Hey name." She goes, "Use their name, you guys. Don't say hey girl. Use their name, and then say." I'm placing some orders today. Would you like me to throw yours in? And I said, placing some orders today. And I added, I'll give you a gift if you order it today because I send little gifts anyways. So I use that, and that's money, simple, beautiful, and I can send that and share that with everyone because I think it's so beautiful. And let me tell you guys, 99% of the time I get left on red, right? And that like they just don't answer me, or I get a no. But that one person out of pages and pages and pages of follow-ups says, yeah. And I'm like, oh, she said, yeah, okay, start the car. I go, perfect. I'm just running through orders right now, which I'm not, but I'm like, I'm running through orders. And then you do it. Or I love to follow up with getting them entered in HAP because sometimes like I heard that from Jade Hooper a long time ago. She said, just cut the pressure because what if they don't have the actual money to buy right now, but they want to, and they feel awkward answering you. So you can like cut like what's that like just release the tension with a hey do you want to enter the in the meantime do you want to enter the giveaway. I do that as a follow-up. And then also a great way to follow up is to go on their timeline and like and comment on a bunch of stuff. And then they go, oh, girl, I forgot to get back to you. Sorry, that was so rude, So I just do. Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Yeah, I love that. That's the one I use, Jackie. And then I have some of Samantha Westwick's follow ups that she shared like in like a long time ago. And I just recycle those. But like literally any way that you feel aligned with. I feel like if you're using a message you're not feeling good about, it's probably not going to work. I swear I'm all about this weird energy. I swear. And so like I feel really good about that message that Jackie shared in there and I just use that most of the time. But you can follow up in so many ways. Even going live I feel is a follow up if they're online at that time. A gift. Oh, what I do is I actually buy these little cute little envelopes on Amazon, and then I just have a little label I put on it and I put in a thank you card and then whatever I have on hand, you guys. Yeah, it's like that. It's a little bit smaller than that. And I put it like, so I give, like usually like keto energy, reds, something small. And then I like to do like hydrate, keto energy and reds. That's what I like to do because they're lightweight. And then they get three. So, and then I go mix it all together. It's the best energy drink. And then a lot of people turn around and end up adding reds or energy or hydrate to their next order. So
Oh,
that's good.
smart. That is so smart, dude. Oh my God. Okay, I love this. There's a couple questions. Can you send a link for your envelopes? Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll send or she'll send those in 3 days. Sample packs. Sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Um, okay, one more question before we go into like this the juicy stuff. This is all pretty juicy. Okay, so one of the biggest thing, I mean, obviously, guys, if you're on our team, like you know what happens probably, and if you don't, get with whoever enrolled you, so we can get you in, a training video that will better explain it. But like it's kind of like at this point, I mean, we're hearing from Samantha Westwick who signs 100 customers a month, Hap, Courtney, Hap, like any Caitlin, Hap, like everyone that it's just Hap. Okay, so obviously, Courtney, like some people are like, my Hap just isn't working for me, or nobody wants to Hap for me, or I have a couple distributors that are in a position where like they've started and they don't like we've been doing this for a couple years. So guys, we're on chapter 15, okay? But when you come in, everybody starts at chapter 1. Uh, Courtney did, I did, Caitlin Reddick did. We all had, very few people on our friends lists. And, sometimes you get into this place where it's like, okay, I only have 200 friends. And, I heard Courtney mention Jade Cooper. If you don't follow her, you should. Yes, she's awesome. But there's a couple of spaces where it's like, okay, I've already messaged my friends list. Nobody's happening for me. Nothing is working. Facebook loves everybody except for me. What do you do? Like, what do you say to that?
Oh, that's so funny you brought that up because I had a teammate ask me, so on average, like how many messages do you send to get your 20 haps up a day? And I'm like Maggie and I were like, I don't know, like we just send enough until. And I was like, dude, that's so Jim Rohn of me to say. I'm like, we just do it until. So I'm like a where there's a will, like, or I'll find a way or whatever. Like literally, you guys, I think my whole day is spent just finding ways, okay, to get haps up. So I've developed like all these little strategies, which I share in my hackathons, which I post to my public, sad little YouTube channel that doesn't have like any videos on it, but like there's that there for you. And it literally is such a game changer. So if, and I find with hap, here's the thing, if you don't hap every day and you get one or two up a day, I am telling you, like your business is probably going to suffer. Sorry to be so red, but it is. Please, please for yourself, get 20 up a day in brand new networks. And so when I'm feeling a lull in my business, I go, oh, I didn't get enough haps up yesterday. That's why it's slow today. So then I put my pedal to the metal and I get back into my hap. And so I have developed like these crazy, weird, like lots of strategies that I learned from Jackie, obviously, and just finding a way to get it, to just trying these new things and trying to get people to put haps up for me that are brand new that I haven't talked to in a while. And then all of their friends comment. And so if I'm having a lull, like a great strategy is to just focus on haps on steroids. So getting like all these people to just share a giveaway post. Okay. So if you're not familiar with host to post, you're just asking that person to share a post for you on their Facebook timeline. And you want it to be like a giveaway post about the giveaway that we're doing with our team. Because what that is sometimes you'll get hundreds of comments on there and all those peeps are going to add you and they're going to, and then those 100 peeps or 2 peeps or whoever are going to share a post for you in their network. And that's all brand new eyes, all brand new people. And it's going to be amazing for business like in the long run. So I think I look at hap like this machine. Okay. And if it's icy cold, rusty, getting 1 to 2 a day, it's like these big wheels, like, or like a train, when a train is just stagnant and not moving, it's like so hard to get going. But when you're doing 20 a day, you're like full speed ahead, like get out of my way. Oh my God, I got 31 up. Like it's just easy, right? Whereas when you're doing like 1 or 2 a day, it is hard, right? Because you got to get that whole thing moving. But I'm telling you, if you're feeling a little, focus on steroids for a couple of days or maybe like a week, just give her, you guys. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And then you're going to just get in the habit of getting 10 up in like before you go to bed, and do not go to bed until. Okay, so I have no idea how many messages I send in a day. I do not keep track of that. I keep track of how many haps I get up. So I think like that's where your mindset needs to shift 2 millimeters, is stop focusing on, well, I sent 60 messages. So I'm like, that doesn't matter to me. Like, how many haps did you get up? Like, you know what I mean? So focus on just that. And you're just going to keep doing your thing until you get them all up. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I do.
Yeah, and you guys, I love this. And by the way, little side distraction, but who here got their conference ticket? Drop it in the comments. Who got their conference virtual? There's literally no excuse not to go. It will change your life. I mean, I'm telling you, get to conference. But one of the guest speakers we have there is Shetty, who has a book called Think Like a Monk. Okay. And if you haven't read that book, it's a really great book. You should definitely read it. But one of the things that you said there, Courtney, just reminded me of like the process in this book. And basically, like in the book, Think Like a Monk, he explains there's 2 types of mindset. There's a monkey mindset, which is like reactive, focused on the results, is in that we could look at it in this term. We're just freaking out. Or there's a monk mindset. And a monk mindset is like, just like Courtney said, you focus on the process. And I feel like that's what you have to do with hap. Like, just like you said, when there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. It's literally like, I could just say like, nobody could ever tell me that hap doesn't work. Like, I don't, again, not to be red, but Is it maybe not working for you right now? Maybe. But there's a couple factors, right? It's like, okay, so for one, how many are you doing? Like Courtney said. Now, some of you might say, well, I've already messaged my friends list. No problem. There's another solution to that. Hap on steroids. I saw Jack shared a really good one in there. If you guys have our boards, you should have all of our haps in there that work. Amazing. But here's one thing I want you guys to take from this. And I know some of you guys heard this on the Power Hour when we were listening to this the other day. In this business, to get that well-oiled machine ready to go, you have to have momentum. Okay, that's that saying, slow and steady wins the race, does not win this race. Slow and steady loses the race, in my opinion. You have to have momentum. Okay, this business likes speed. So if you do 1 to 2 haps a day, maybe you're going to get results. I mean, definitely don't come in here wanting to go diamond in 3 months. Just to be like real, you have to have that momentum build up, because once you do all the things, it's just like an airplane taking off a runway, right? Like, think about if the airplane was going off the runway and it was like like, you would be like, I'd be like, get the hell off this plane, like I don't want to even be on this plane, this sucks, like I'm going to a different plane, I hate flying. You need to have momentum to get off the ground, you have to. And so you may not feel these things now, but I promise you, like, just as Courtney says, like, whatever it takes. And it's not just hap, you guys. I mean, who here picks up their phone and sees Courtney on TikTok every single time, Courtney on Reels every single time? Like, this all comes together, you know? Okay, one more question I have for you before we go into that, into your trip, Court, is what can you share just a quick tip on how you grow your network? Because I feel like the posting is like the front of house stuff. This is like the servers in a restaurant. This is what you see at the front of the house. But in order for that restaurant to serve good food, you have, this is right, this is a crazy analogy. In order for the restaurant to run, you have to have the back end stuff working at all times, or else it will never run. And I believe growing your network is one of those things. So can you touch on like exactly your strategy for that?
Okay, you guys, and this is where the magic happens. Like I just said, I do the regular things, okay? So like, growing my network in groups and like, do you know how many dog owners I have as friends on my Facebook and my Instagram, and people who like have transplanted to Florida? I love following people like that because they're on the same journey as me, right? And I want to be their friend, and I follow so many cute Yorkie moms out there. Oh my God, like I actually want to be their friend and they want to be mine. And so I do that, posting a reel, maybe taking like the pedal off of the posting about like the products in the business for a while, like a couple days is what I mean, and posting about something I'm passionate about, like a dog or like travel, or like posting my old travels. Like I recycle content, right? That's a great way to grow your network. And then another thing I like to do is, on Instagram. This is my new favorite thing because it's really being fruitful. Um, just following my followers, people who follow me, and like people on Instagram who have purchased from me, I will go and follow who follow them. And if they're normal, like I don't follow stores and all that, I will follow a human woman if they're around like they look like they're 20 to, I don't know, 60 or something, like I don't know, and I'll just like add them. And for me, I just would prefer women because like I just get along with women better, I feel safer, and then have something in common with them. And then literally months later, weeks later, days later, they'll be commenting on my consistent, posts that I do and lives that I do. But honestly, guys, the way I grow my network mainly is hap. It's such a beautiful, beautiful task because, okay, I'm messaging people, so I'm sparking conversations. People are putting up product posts for me, right? Those people who comment on those product posts want to get in my DMs. So I feel very aligned. I know I keep saying that, but like it really does help your business. So these product people who comment on Stacy's post that she shared for me, these 3 people want me to message them. So I tell them I'm going to message you, add me as a friend. I message them. They want the information, and do they buy right away? Right away? No, but you know what my goal is right in that second? To get a hap up, because guess what? I'm gonna grow my network in Stacy's Friends of a Friends network. Stacy's Friends of a Friend puts the product or the giveaway post up, it gets 3 to 100 comments. I add all of them to my network, and like literally they will add me. I will have all these, like Tamara Klein had 72 friend requests when she woke up today because she got 10 haps up the night before. So she grew her network by 72 people while she slept. She wakes up today, does posts. People comment on that, messages those new people. They want info on either the giveaway of this. And it's just this beautiful, you knock off so much on the task list by happing, you guys. Like, if you are really not wanting to do HAP, I think you should really just think about it for a minute, because you're literally, you can enroll 50 customers a month. You can enroll 100 customers a month. Like, you can. And if you don't think you can, you need to get your mind right, because you're wrong. I know for a fact you can enroll 100 customers a month, and or whatever that number is that you want. I know we all have a number that we want. You can. You need to believe you can. Otherwise, you never ever will. You never will. So please stop stunting your growth in this business and put that number on. I have a big post-it note on my mirror, and I stare at it all the time, and I start saying out loud, I enroll 50 customers a month. Like, I enroll, what do you mean? I enroll 50 customers a month. That's just what I do. And like, say it and believe it. And I swear, if you do the work, it will come. I promise you, if you put the work in, especially with HAP, all the top leaders, I sat across from Nayara and Haley, who's on her team, and I was sitting there and I asked her, how do you work your business? She's like, mainly through Facebook. I'm like, well, how? And she goes, HAP. And I'm like, everyone here haps. You guys, and there, if you think, oh, there's so many people happing, like, why would I hap when Nayara or Haley is getting all the haps up? No one's going to want to hap for me. That is on you. People are going to buy off of you in an instant, and in 3 to 6 months or a year or two. People want what we have, you guys. So it's you. That's your mindset you need to fix. Get your mind right. Believe it can happen. Do the work. And I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before you're like Nayara, before you're like Rhonda, before you're like Haley, before you're like Samantha Westbrook. You have to let it happen. You have to like be open to that happening. You know what I mean?
Yep, this is firing me up. And you steer where you stare. I like court. I mean, I don't know if I can show you, but I got them on my wall too, right up there. You guys, I think it's so important I think it's so important to visually have in front of you what you're doing. Like, you have to, because I feel like if you don't, you're subconsciously going to like be negative. I mean, not, and maybe you're not, but I know even for me, like, I remember when I came in and somebody on a YouTube video told me, write down, I am a master enroller, I am diamond. And I like had that on my wall, and I like literally believed it. I literally believed it. And I feel like you have to start that process. And here's the other thing, guys, nobody can do that for you. Nobody can do that for you. I could come over and say, I'm going to speak life over Courtney. I'm going that, like that. That's straight up why I say I will not take responsibility for anybody's success or their failure. You could come up and believe, like, push so much belief on somebody. So I could be like, Courtney, you are the most incredible, like, whatever. And if Courtney is like, no, I suck, well, then you're right. But if Courtney's like, no, I'm awesome, you're right. And so I think what the switch for me was like, and tell me if you resonate with this in the chat. I spent 26 years of my life trying to tell myself why I wasn't worthy. Like, I spent 26 years of my life telling myself why it wasn't for me. I spent 26 years of my life saying why I wasn't smart enough to go to university, which I wasn't, but I could have been if I tried earlier. I spent 26 years of my life saying that I wasn't this or I wasn't that. Why don't you just start saying to yourself, like, okay, the people that are doing the things that I want to do, whether it's in this business or anything, they're literally speaking out into existence what they want. Stop wasting your time. Like, get your mind right. And one of the biggest things that helped me with this was The Secret. Are you into that stuff?
Love.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay, guys, let's talk about the trip. Okay, so I'm excited for you guys to hear about this, because it was crazy, because when we were double, we went on a very similar trip, and I said to Courtney, like, this is why getting to events, I mean, this was next level, but this is why getting to events is so important. I was always the person that said, I don't need this. I'm so red. I don't need to be around people. That's not what's going to be to fire me up. Like, I'll never need that. And when we won that trip to go see Mark II, like, it actually being around people and just Mark and Cindy and like top earners in the company, like, it just literally, the only way I can describe it is like, it just makes you want to cry. So Court, I kind of said, speak on whatever you like, just tell us about, maybe tell us about your experience. And then I'm sure with that questions will come.
Okay, so this was really weird, you guys. There's a little backstory. So last month, I had written on my post-it note, I still have it like here, and it says, "I am triple diamond, May 2021." Like I put a date on it and everything, and I said it to my team. I was like, "I'm going triple, you guys. It's let's go. I'm taking us VIP." I was like, shutting it out, and I actually believed it was going to happen. And I kept saying to myself, like, I needed a lot, okay, of volume, and I was like, I believe in miracles, and like I had this weird, beautiful feeling in deep down inside. I was like, I could build a diamond in a month. Like, I just felt like I could do anything. It was weird. Okay. Obviously, a lot of personal development and a lot of secret and like magical juice. It was the, oh, no, not juice. Like, actually, like, I just like have really good energy. But I just was like, in the flow. And I was like, I believe in miracles. I feel like a miracle is going to happen. I thought my miracle was going to be triple, going triple. But no, you guys, Rhonda stinking Hartman reaches out to me, okay, and invites me to this event, which is insane. Like, what? Okay. So that was my miracle last month. I didn't go triple, which is okay. Like, what else? I'm gonna go this month, okay? But I went to the freaking inner circle. Like I literally couldn't believe it. It was crazy, you guys. And the one thing that was so weird is everyone's normal. Like everyone's just a human being like us. And Rhonda kept saying that like to me. She's like, we're just people. And so when I went there, I was like, oh my gosh. Sitting next to all these people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're just normal people who work really hard. Like that's literally it, you guys, and have been in for a long time. So I have to thank Rhonda for this experience, and I want like just to like share this with you guys. Look what Rhonda did. Okay, she was killing it in her business and dug down deep in her organization. You guys are like, you don't even want to know who's in her organization. Some of these top like I feel like everyone's in her organization because she's been in the business so long. But she dug down deep, somehow found me and brought me up, and like treated me like so kind, and poured into me, brought me to this event. We need to be like that with the people on our team. Okay. So first of all, I learned that right away. I was like, this personal, um, like she came out of nowhere and just was like so um loving, accepting, and was pouring into me. And I'm like, why me? Like, why me out of all these people? So I feel like I want to do that for people on my team, and not just one person. Like I want to do like, and even if it just means a phone call, or hey, come over to my house, let's watch a movie together. That's personal development, like something, you guys. So like reaching out to people, being a human, and like just having that because as a red, it's sometimes I'm so focused on the business, I forget like these are people's lives that are going to be changed. And so if you shift your focus on that, like I have, like, oh my gosh, this pivot has been huge for my growth. And I feel like it will help you level up because you're going to be like, whoa, I'm a leader now, and I'm going to help you guys, and like, just like have your beautiful teammates, like with, I don't know. Okay. So there's that. Um, and then being around Mark and Cindy and their ranch, like you guys, like I like are okay. Put a one if you're a dreamer. Can you put a one in the comments, please? Like I'm a major dreamer. I could dream all day of like your dream board thing. Like I literally have a dream board in my head every day, all day. I dream about all these things and all these experiences. Right? Okay, cool. So I'm not alone. I'm such a big dreamer. But don't forget to be a doer too, because there's tons of dreamers out there in the world, but there's not dreamers and doers. So it's really important that you're both. Okay. So I want you to hang on to those dreams. Those dreams were planted on your heart for a reason. They were meant to come true. Like that's your destiny calling you. Okay. So I really want you to make sure that you keep that dream and just let it like literally tell yourself that it's possible because it's just so magical, like seeing these people in the flesh. Rachel Jones, inventor of hap, like she's so normal, and she just haps every day, you guys, and that's why she's there. So why not us as well? And seeing like oh, you guys, going to the ranch was insane. Like first of all, the fact that they've been around for 20 years, and in the beginning people were like, why are you doing this? You're not even making enough to stay afloat. You're pouring more into it than you are making money. And they're like, no, I think we're on to something good. And they didn't listen to those people, and they kept going. And if they didn't keep going, you guys, for 20 years, we wouldn't be here. Jackie wouldn't be going ambassador. We would just be doing our old thing, being whatever it was before that you don't want to go back to. And like I'm telling you, like we have to keep going. It's our responsibility to the future people. Like what, like sitting in their family room in the ranch, like I wouldn't be there if they quit on themselves. So we cannot ever quit because we don't know how many lives we're going to change. You know, maybe not you, but like the company, like with this vehicle, we can help so many human beings come home full time and be with their family. Like what the heck is more important than family and health? And these are the things that we get to help people with, right? So just being around that was extremely powerful. Being at the ranch, you guys, it was literally an idea in their head to own a ranch one day. They built it when they had that, okay, the ability to. They built a little hacienda, and then guess what? That hacienda served its purpose. They are like, oh, that is, we want to build a bigger hacienda so we can have these beautiful humans on the team come and visit and have the space to host these people and give them the vision that we know is possible. So they built a second hacienda, which makes me tell you all, you're all dreamers, right? So re-dream. Once you're there, don't camp out at Double Diamond or don't camp out at Ruby because, okay, you got the $500 a month or whatever, insert income disclosure here, right? That you wanted. Well, redream, my friend. Like, don't camp out. There is a beautiful climb where you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to meet new people who want to climb with you too. And we're going to go and grow together. So you need to redream and assess where you're at, constantly be evaluating where you're at with your mindset and your business and say, am I growing? No, then I'm camping. And no one wants to be a camper. You want to climb, right? We want to be the climbers. So just keep going, you guys. And it's going to be difficult. That Rocky Mountain is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, there's going to be challenges, and not only are you going to have a climb, there's going to be something that goes wrong in your life. You're going to get a flat tire. Something's going to happen. It's going to happen. It is like destined to happen. Okay, but you need to get better. You need to be strong enough to keep working and climbing throughout that storm. Okay, you have to, because of your future self, and not just you. That's selfish. All the people on your team that are going to join you. Like, if you don't keep going, what if you don't help those 15 people? Like, what if you don't help those hundreds of people? What if you don't even help one? Like, that's selfish. You need to keep pushing for not only you, but for them. And that's really the big picture here. It's about the lives that are going to be changed. Sitting in that room is insane, you guys. And having these people like having these huge teams and changing lives. I still can't believe I was there. It was really crazy. It was really crazy. And Rhonda just posted a picture actually the other day, and she was at a golf course. Okay, here's another weird thing, you guys. Did you know Mark Pentecost owned the golf course that I literally am staring at right now across the street? Weird. Okay, and they would have their green carpets there every month. Okay, and she has this beautiful picture of her with, I think, a bunch of people who went to the green carpet with on her team, and she said they're all gone. They're all gone now. 10 years later, it's only her remaining. It's only her remaining. So you have to, don't be the quitter. Please, if they would have stayed in the business and worked hard, they've been in the business for 10 years. Oh my gosh, they'd be double ambassador, maybe Black Diamond. I don't know. But they quit on themselves for some reason. She said, oh, life happened. I'm like, I don't care what life happens. I am making this work because I have no choice. I'm not going back to the life I was living before. And that's a kind of, and that's also a thing that we had in common. Everyone there did not want to go back to where they were before they started and they got success. So I think like that also plays a huge role in why those people were there. It's crazy. It's crazy. So the thing I learned from Cindy and Mark and the ranch and Rhonda and the entire experience, you guys, first of all, you need to be a visionary. You need to be a visionary, and you need to think way more than just your next promotion. Okay, like I'm talking years. I'm not just talking about paying for your daughter's ballet classes. I'm talking about her college fund to an epic college. Okay, I'm talking way bigger than just that. Okay, so you need to be a visionary for yourself. You need to be a visionary for your team. And that is what is going to inspire you to bust your butt every day and to get those 20 haps up a day and dream bigger. Do not set, okay, I just want to do this one little goal. No, you need to have, like, yes, your little goals monthly, okay, that you aim to hit, but you need to also dream bigger, because I already know we don't dream big enough personally. Like, you have to challenge yourself to dream bigger. Like Jackie pushing for ambassador this month, like she's dreaming bigger because I feel like she's giving us permission to go ambassador by her, you know what I mean? So like it's almost like it's not selfish of her for going ambassador. It's actually going to start a domino effect. Like we're going to see Caitlin Reddick go ambassador. We're going to see Samantha. We're going to see it's going to have a domino, beautiful like effect on all of the people on this team. And like, isn't that beautiful? I can't get over that. Like, it's just such a, like everyone's live. We're just like, yes, Krista. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I just want to cry too. And so I think like your mindset, dreaming bigger, having that vision, is just so important. And obviously I learned like logistical, like technical things too I could share if you like that I learned there. But that's basically like what it was such a big lesson.
So good. This is so good. One thing, Court, that you said that I really want to touch on again was like, you said getting to that hacienda and the ranch like made you dream, right? And you kind of transitioned from saying like, if you're feeling, if you're ever like feeling stuck or like you're in a lull and like then redreaming. And I just want to like, I feel like this is actually the solution to a lot of people's problems if you're feeling like you're in a rut. Sometimes it's not that you're like not motivated, it's that you just don't lack vision. Like a lot of people will say, "Oh, I've lost motivation." No, no, you didn't. You lack vision. And I feel like you can't. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Sorry. I feel like you guys do that to mess with me in the chat. Oh no, it's a private message. Anyways, hopefully you can hear me. Every Zoom, I'm like, okay, what do I gotta do? You guys, if you're feeling that right now, the question now becomes, how do you redream? Well, you have to decide. Are you going to be fueled by the pain or the purpose? Are you going to be fueled by the fact, just like Courtney said, everybody there didn't want to go back to wherever they were before. Okay. And I think you can be fueled by pain for a while. I don't think that's sustainable. But the trick is a lot of people will be fueled by pain. They will work their little butts off to get to a place that they're like, I'm good. And then they are stagnant. And then they don't refocus that vision to be driven by their purpose. And so what is your purpose? Is it that you want to be there, just like Courtney said, not even for your daughter's dance classes, but for her college fund? Okay. Can we take a 2-minute like vision? I want to like do this exercise with you guys. Can we do that? 2 minutes? Okay. This is like makes me emotional. Okay. Sorry. We got to do it. Pen and paper. Everybody get a pen and paper out. Okay. Down the left-hand side of your paper, I want you to write down 5 people that are just truly so important to you in your life. If you got 5 kids or 6 kids, you don't have to choose favorites unless you do have a favorite and you're like, nah, just joking. Put all your kids, but like truly, right? So for me, it's like Mike, Mason, McKenna, my parents, Mike, like who are the people in your life? Okay, you don't have to cap it out at 5. I know some of us got like 8 kids, okay? Now on the top, so this is going down. On the top, across it, I want you to put 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I can feel myself almost starting to cry. Okay, this is what tears me up. Okay, we're all living for today. Okay, but where is Mason going to be in 5 years? Well, Mason will be 10, right? Where's McKenna going to be in 5 years? 8. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 8. Okay, 8. Where's my parents going to be in 10 years? Right? Who knows, right? Like you guys will have different situations on your things here, right? So it makes you realize, like, man, is what I'm doing, like, what's going to be important to me in 5 years? Well, I know that I'm going to want to be that mom at school that is like there for every single field trip. That's what's important to me. I know that when Mason is 15, you better believe I will be the mom at the dance with the whistle. Like, there's no way, I'm not missing that. Okay. I will be the mom at the dance with the whistle. I'll be the chaperone. Okay. I'm not missing that. In 20 years, okay, where are my parents going to be? Like, and when you start to think about stuff like that, here's the thing. I feel like at the end of the day, we're not working for money. We're working to live our days. We're working so we can live our days as we want. And at the end of the day, if like, I'll just say it, okay, this is not the only option, but like, if you're not working for yourself, you're probably working for somebody else that never gave up on their dreams. And I will tell you that being an entrepreneur gives you freedom. And so when I started thinking about like, man, if I don't change my tune, like I will not be able to pick up a phone call in 10 years and be there for my parents like that because I don't have the time or the money. Like that's it. I get hot even talking about it. Like this should piss some of you guys off. Really. Like if some of you guys have been sleeping on your business, it should piss you off. because I want to be like you want like, and it's like, as you just think about that, like that's what's going to give you the vision. Like, where do you want to be in 10 years with your kids, with your family? Like, what options do you want to have? What you guys have your hands on right now will give you options. You know, Courtney's talking about she couldn't be with her husband because he was working long distance in Florida and she's here teaching in Canada. This business gave her the option to go down and live. Like, guys, like, you know, you got, it's already in the bag for you. So I want you guys to like take some time to look at that sheet and really ponder over it tonight and like really visualize for yourself, where do these people lay out in my life in the next 5 to 20 years? And maybe that is going to inspire you to be driven by the purpose of why you're here. Maybe that's going to recreate some vision for you. Okay. If you've lacked it. Okay. So Court, when you, okay. So I don't know if you guys were like talking about this kind of stuff there, but you know, I feel like to be at the top of this company, or, you know, to be very, you know, successful, I feel like you have to have a handle on growing your team, enrolling distributors. We've kind of talked about customers. Did you guys have any training there, or like conversations that really like were about how to grow your team?
Okay, so that's funny you say that. Okay, and I know this is about customers, but it actually leads to distributors. Okay, so a lot of people were talking about how their current customers were people that they transformed into distributors. So make sure you're tapping into that. If you have someone that's enjoying the product, propose the business. Okay, but they were talking about this is what's so beautiful about the 5 loyal customer $100 cash bonus right now, because we are allowed to post about it, you guys. So not only is this putting out there like, hey guys, I just made $100 cash by getting 5 customers, we're allowed to say that. That's like so powerful, and I've had so much interest. So okay, if you get a distributor from maybe that, for example, and you get them obsessed with this 5 LCs $100 bonus, they are naturally going to become a recruiter, because they're going to be like, dang, I just made $100. Like, I made $100, like, just cash, not on top of my commissions. They're going to talk about it. So they're going to naturally, you know, do that. And then they're going to get someone on their team. And then you're going to be an awesome leader and teach your team about the 5 LCs $100 bonus. And it's naturally going to grow your team. And I understand why Jade Hooper's so obsessed with getting distributors on her team, because that's why she's a beast of a business. Like, that is why you cannot do anything in this business unless you have people on your team. And so just using every stinking opportunity for like talking about it, you know? So I think the fact that we're allowed to post about the $100 bonus is a great way to do that. But I'll never forget, Nayara actually messaged me to become a distributor. And so they're doing the work, you guys. They're doing the work. They're messaging the people, they're growing their networks, and they're just being consistent. I think a great thing to ask yourself is like, would I join me? Would I want to join me? Would I feel like safe and supported? Would I want to join me? And I think if you ask yourself that and go, well, geez, I didn't post for a couple days, and I never put my face in my stories, and I don't really talk about the business, because I have a lot of people coming to me like, I don't get any DTs. And I'm like, well, you don't post about this. Like, you're not posting about it. So I think we really have this beautiful pearl like in our hand, and it's this 5 LC bonus, because this is how you grow. Everyone wants money when they start, and there's statistics that say if someone joins the business and within the first 90 days, if they don't make any money, I can't remember the percentage, but they just leave. They don't stick around. But if they earn even $1 within their first 90 days, they stick around, because they realize, you know, there's money to be made. So with this bonus, you're telling me that a new DT could get a shopping spree and a $100 cash bonus? Like this, they're going to stick. And then you never know if they're going to enroll a Jade Hooper. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really, for me, I'm always focused on HAP, but I always twist that and use that as a way to propose the business if they get lots of comments. Or like, I just had a girl today who I literally just met through HAP, and she goes, oh, I tried those wraps. They were amazing. And then obviously she watched my stories and she was like, "Oh, I want to join your team. You know what? I'm going to join your team on Thursday because then I'll just get the wraps and then I can make some money." And I'm like, "What?" Like, so it's just being consistent and asking yourself that question. I think that, but I don't know. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. And I just like everything that you're saying, I'm like, you're just lining this up so perfectly for me because like everything is just so full circle. Like Courtney could have been like, oh, that person wasn't ready to buy today. I'm not gonna post in my story. And then guess what? There's no story for her to view, which now she's not having the conversation. Like it's just doing all of the things. And so guys, one thing that will never change in this business, no matter like how you slice or dice it, we post, we grow our network, we follow up, we open our mouth. We have conversations. Have you guys heard that sound on TikTok? And it's like, you have to post about your product so people know you have products. You have to post about your products so people know there's products. Like if you're not posting about it, like duh. Okay. This is so crazy. Okay. I just love that. I always ask about the business to hackers. Yeah. And guys, that's another really smart way to get distributors. Like if you want to talk systems and a duplicatable system, just like Caitlin Ham said in the comments, think about this. Get a bunch of haps up, as many as you can. We're going to get customers from it. Now you're going to go back to the haps that people have put up for you and you're going to say, hey, Brianna, I know that you have put up posts for me in the past. This is actually how I make an income online. Have you ever considered doing what I do? Maybe they're going to answer you. Maybe they won't. But you know what Brianna's going to do? They're going to go look on our page. And what are they going to see? Oh, Courtney is a dog mom. That's so crazy. I love you. Like I love, little dogs. Oh, that's crazy. She does keto. I love keto. Oh, no way. She has a business. Now she has coffee. Like it's literally full circle. So I feel like the word that we have to take from this is just consistency. Can you like, and I know this is like broken record at this part, but like I feel like this is the unwritten like law of this business is consistency. And I know you've already answered it 5 million times, but can you take another just like minute and talk about why we just have to be consistent, like the importance of that word?
Totally. And you know what? It was so crazy. I was talking to Rhonda about this, and I think there's a certain type of person that's successful in this business, or if the person isn't like that, I think they teach themselves to be. And I think the secret ingredient is, for example, me. I grew up in ballet, and everyone knows you don't become a ballerina after one lesson. Okay, honey, it's boring, it's slow, and it takes years to develop your muscles and the technique and the coordination to become a dancer. Okay, so here I was at 3 years old doing ballet, completely sucking at it. But then guess what? I literally did ballet from age 3, and then I did it and I went to university with it. That's how I got into university, is and I studied dance, right? So that alone taught me perseverance and consistency. You can't become like a ballet, not a ballerina, but like, like a dancer without training every day. Like, so that is just innate. That is in me. I will never quit on that. Like, you know what I mean? And then learning French, for example. I wanted to be a French teacher, and I literally, like, it's a language, you guys. You like, I'm still learning the language. You know what I'm saying? It's just a forever thing, and it's a daily thing that you do every day. And if you don't, you really see like, like, oh man, my French really sucks. I haven't practiced. You know what I'm saying? So for me, those were life lessons that built that in me. And I think some people don't have those experiences to know that they have that perseverance and consistency within them, but we all do. We just need to rise to the challenge. So I think having something like that, like maybe you guys are successful, like had a successful something like that in your past where you stuck with something no matter what, even when you missed out on like play dates with your friends, you're like, oh, I got to go to ballet. Like I remember so many times. Okay. And so just doing that, I think it's the same thing in this business, you guys. Like I will never go a day without working this business. I had surgery day, signed a customer, worked my business right up into it. I came out of surgery and I was working my business, getting haps up literally after I just was after a surgery. And I'll never forget, Jackie was in the hospital, signed a customer in the hospital. And I was like, I want to be like that. Because like, I always had that. She said one time in a Zoom a long time ago, if you don't sign that customer, I'm going to sign that customer. And I was like, okay. So like, I wanted to, and she's always, I can't, this woman's work ethic is insane. Okay. And I just like, if I want to be in a room, and I can proudly say I'm the hardest working one in this room. Okay. And so I want, if I want to be a winner at Winner Circle, which we're all capable of, it's literally just your work ethic and that consistency every day. And if you depend on Jackie or someone in your team to motivate you every day, like you're in the wrong mindset. You motivate you. Those are goals, those 20-year goals, those whatever 5, 10, 15 goals should be inspiring you and motivating you to do those things every day. And if you're not getting the 10 to 20 haps up a day, which if you challenge yourself to do that, you're going to just understand why I'm like literally nonstop talking about it. It's because I went from signing 11 customers a month to 50 plus customers a month. So duh, I'm obsessed with it. And if I am no one special, you can do this too. You just have to do it. Okay. So consistency is everything. And Sean, what do you always say? Success is persistent consistency.
Success is persistence and
Yeah,
discipline.
Sean.
Success is persistence in disguise. He taught me that. And I'm like, you're right. Like that's all the difference is between you and me is not me, you and I and those top leaders at Winner Circle. Like it's just they've been just doing the things every single day, no excuses. So yeah.
It's literally time and work. That's the only difference. It's just, and it's like time too, right? Like time is gonna pass anyway. That is so good. Um, okay, a question that came in, and I would love your answer on this. What advice would you give to someone who struggles with consistency?
I think that would they would have to dig deep inside. Like, what is stopping you from doing this? You know, I think once again, it's your mindset. Like, what about it? Why aren't you doing that? So, if someone's not getting their haps up in a day, I'll sit down, like I'll sit down with them in a Zoom or an audio note or whatever, and I'll be like, "Okay, so what's going on here? Like, what's stopping you?" And sometimes it's just waking up an hour earlier. And like I was like, "Oh, why don't you wake up 30 minutes earlier and 30 stay up 30 minutes later? That's an hour. You can definitely get like 5 to 10 haps up in that time if it's concentrated." Focused messaging and stuff like that, right? So if it's time, make the time. Stop saying you don't have the time. Stop watching Netflix, stop scrolling on there. Don't get trapped on TikTok with the scrolling. Be intentional with your time because it literally could make the difference between a comma in your paycheck in the coming in the month. Like I that's how I think at least. So I think if you're having struggles with consistency, you have to look within. Like there's something going on there that's stopping you. Could be like a self-sabotage, limited belief, or maybe you are just a really busy mom that works full time and has 3 children and you're trying to fit this in. Like I always see like Shayla, like she kills it and she's busy and like she kills it and she's so busy and I'm like, how do you do this, you know? And she just makes it happen. You guys, she wakes up early, she even works out every day. Like you just maybe go talk to, if you're having problems, go pick a brain of someone who you look up to and be like, how do you do this? And maybe that's all you need is just a little, like everyone says, it's a 2 millimeter, like it's a little pivot.
Okay, so we said that. She's fire. Straight fire. So good. And you guys, here can I yeah, I just want to give it I just want to add a little bit onto that. Couple things. Don't even tell yourself you're too busy. Okay, we literally all this is the thing. We literally all have 24 hours in the day. Straight up. Nobody gets extra time. And I know I can speak for Courtney and myself when I say like we've worked this business in different seasons. We've worked this business working full time. I've worked this business, being pregnant with like jobs and then a baby and jobs and then 2 babies and then like Mike gone. Like there will I'll just tell you, the seas are never gonna part. The birds are never going to come down singing from the sky and being like, this is the perfect time. You are motivated. You got, Snow White singing your song. It'll just never happen. So you just have to decide, if you're not telling where to go, your time will tell you where to go. And just like Courtney says, sometimes you just have to have that extra 30 minutes. Sometimes you just have to wake up that hour in the morning. Like priorities cannot coexist. What's that saying? Is that the right saying? Something can't. I don't know. There's some saying like that. I don't know if I butchered that, but it's like what's important to you. Oh no, priorities and excuses can't coexist. That's it. I missed half of it. Priorities and excuses can't coexist. We all have the same 24 hours. Now, I were to bet you, okay, if we all go on our phone right now, click on settings, click on time, screen, what is it going to tell you? What's it going to tell you? Don't tell me because I'll just be mad. I've done it too. I've looked at myself and been like, oh my God, you have the time. You're just not doing the things. And here's the thing. I was that worker at Subway that was like, this chick's working her little butt off. She's getting paid $6 an hour. I'm going to go waste some time in the back and also get paid $6 an hour, I got fired. Like that's just, you can't, we're not at the same, like, we're not trying to like, we're not getting paid hourly. Like don't waste your own time. This is your most valuable resource. Sit down, get it done, put your phone down. Sit down, put it down, get your phone down. Be intentional with your time. Time blocking is huge. Other thing I wanted to add on is if you are feeling like you're lacking something specifically, whether that's, oh, I can't sign customers, or I'm not very good at signing distributors, or I'm not disciplined, or, you know, I'm not motivated. I just encourage you to go Google whatever it is you feel like you're lacking. Like nobody comes out of the womb being like, I'm just this great distributor enroller. That just doesn't happen. You get good at it because you're intentional about learning it, right? Courtney is intentional about killing it at TikTok. That's why she kills it at TikTok. Courtney is intentional about getting her haps up. That's why she gets up X amount of haps, you know, a month, right? So if you're like, hey, I'm just really bad at being disciplined, I want you to go to YouTube and type in how to be disciplined. If you're like, I just am negative self-talking to myself, you just have two decisions. We either keep at it, and if we don't change it, nothing changes, or I'm gonna go and take an active decision. Sometimes it's just realizing, and I'm just gonna say it, nobody is coming to save you to do it. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. It is up to you. And when you can just take that extreme ownership of like your business and be about your business and be about that growth in yourself, like you're gonna get motivated when you start doing the things. Like motion will create emotion, you know? So yeah, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Where do we hear that? We heard that the other day.
Imran.
Imran. So okay, let's wrap it up with this, Court. If you had like one thing to leave us with, and then before you guys hop up at the end, we're gonna give you some power hour schedules, so stick around. Before we hop off at the end, Court, what's one thing you'd leave us with? An aha moment, or just like whatever you would say to someone that just joined, whatever's on your heart.
Two things. Obviously, the moral of the story of the entire experience at Winter Circle is dream bigger. Okay. And if you're like, yeah, okay, that's your mindset talking, and you need to push that away, and you need to bring out that inner child and dream like you've never dreamed before, because it's possible. I literally lived in that. Like, I can't believe what's possible. It's a beautiful thing to have that belief, and it really is a game changer. And the second thing I'm going to ask you and leave you with is a question. Okay. Would you hire you? Would you hire you? And that's what I'll leave you with, so you can ponder. Would you hire you? Because if you're not wanting to even hire yourself, and you're like, ugh, I've been kind of chilling, like, yeah, I would, like, maybe you just need, and that's okay. It's just to have that awareness, and realize, oof, I need to step up my game.
Consider this your first official write-up on the first step to get fired. If you want to show you, we can't fire you. But it's like when you get that write-up at work, like Subway, when they're like, this is your last chance, and you're just like, no, I gotta shake it off. Like maybe we need to do that. You guys, drop a 1 in the chat if you feel fired up from this call. Okay, like just like, okay, this was incredible. Courtney, thank you so much for like your time. Thank you for pouring into us. Like you did not have to do that. Rhonda, thank you for like making this all possible. This was just like, this type of gift like ripples through the organization. You guys follow Court, follow Rhonda. Like when you're around the fire, and that brings me to my last thing. When you're around the fire, okay, sometimes we get in our own little heads. What we want to do is we want to isolate. We want to step back. We want to retreat. I will tell you from experience, if you feel fired up right now, stay close to the fire. I see a bunch of comments in here saying, I don't know how to do TikTok. I don't know how to do HAP. Guess what? You will never know until you make the purpose to show up and learn it. So this week, we are going to have lots of power hours. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to write these down. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow morning, same Zoom number. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same Zoom number. Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, same Zoom number. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same Zoom number. Thursday, this is the only little exception. I was supposed to do 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, same Zoom number, except I got to switch it to 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know Jackie Mack is going to be there. Trust me. I just saw her face. She's really excited to wake up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Okay. So on these power hours, we're doing TikToks together. Okay. On these power hours, we're answering haps together. Okay. So it's going to be awesome. You guys, thank you again for prioritizing to show up for this. Courtney, you are incredible. We are all cheering you on to Triple Diamond. And guys, let's just give Courtney some love. She really killed it tonight.
Ambassador, let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys. Love your faces. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.